ELT Materials. Teachers have realized that a whole industry has been built up around changing teaching resources and methodologies. Considerable attention is now being paid to developing instructional materials and recognizing the importance of teaching resources and strategies used to maximize students' language learning. For many decades, materials development was merely the production accompanying a wide range of learning resources to illustrate methods. However, things have started to change due to teachers' awareness of two issues. First, the huge production in the interest of methodologies and materials used for teaching. Second, the importance of including students' voices in order to update teaching materials in terms of the way learners would like to learn and what they need to learn in today's increasingly globalized world. The ELT material should expose the learners to language in authentic use, help learners to pay attention to features of authentic input, provide the learners with opportunities to use the target language to achieve communicative purposes, provide opportunities for outcome feedback, achieve impact in the sense that they arouse and sustain the learner's curiosity and attention, stimulate intellectual, aesthetic, and emotional involvement. One of the things with materials writers need to do is to develop flexible frameworks to help them produce effective materials for target learners in principled and coherent ways. In order to acquire the ability to use the language effectively, learners need to be exposed to a rich, meaningful, and comprehensible input of language in use. That's why we need to make sure that the materials contain a lot of spoken and written texts, which provide extensive experience of language. Also, that the language the learners are exposed to is authentic in the sense that it represents how the language is typically used. In order for the learners to maximize their exposure to language in use, they need to be engaged both affectively and cognitively in the language experience. If the learners do not think and feel whilst experiencing the language, they are unlikely to acquire any elements of it. To aim this, we need to prioritize the potential for engagement by basing a unit on a test or task which is likely to achieve effective and cognitive engagement rather than on a teaching point selected from a syllabus. Furthermore, we can make use of activities which get learners to think and feel before, during, and after using the target language for communication. Language learners need to be positive about the target language, about their learning environment, about their teachers, about their fellow learners, and about their learning materials. So we need to make sure that the tests and tasks are as interesting, relevant, and enjoyable as possible so as to exert a positive influence of the learner's attitudes to the language and to the process of learning it. Learners need opportunities to use language to try to achieve communicative purposes. If they are participating in interaction, they are also being pushed to clarify and elaborate, and they are also likely to elicit meaningful and comprehensible input from their interlocutors. So we need to provide many opportunities for the learners to produce language in order to achieve intended outcomes and design output activities so that they help learners to develop their ability to communicate fluently, accurately, appropriately, and effectively.